Well, GT3 action once again returns here on Monday nights on the JP Broadcasting Network, and we invite you all along and bid you welcome to the second round of Season 8 of the Tanso Racing Group and Clark St. James GT3 Championship. From the Eifel region of Germany to the Okayama Prefecture in Japan, we are at the place formerly known as the TI Circuit AIDA, now known as the Okayama International Circuit. What is going to be an interesting 60-minute race, which will include some very, very tasty pit stops along the way. My name's Alex Goldschmidt. Joining me in the booth tonight, as always, will be my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the legend, none other than Mr. James Parfitt. So, we've already had one round in the books, and that is at the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit just 7 days ago. And Hayden Young leads the way in the overall standings for the pros, ahead of Peter Duke, with Harry Hartley-Price rounding out the top three in the pro standings. Harry's 7, Mark Wesley and Scott Kostrick round out the top three in the AMS. We're in the final throws of the 15-minute qualifying session, which is closed, so all drivers will set their lap times on their own. And let's bring in Mr. Parfitt along into the booth. Mr. Parfitt, good evening.
Good evening, dear sir. How are you? Just catching up with a conversation with Craig Jones and Michael Gray and everybody else. Craig needs help because our wives are talking on the phone. So they generally will talk for probably about the length of this broadcast. So he's in for a good one while I'm working, and he's sat there listening to them chinwag about all sorts of wonderful things of hair and school trousers and God knows what else. So that's going to be fun for him sat at home. Now, Okayama is going to be like Kylie Minogue spinning around video by the time they do this for 60 minutes. This is on 1 minute 28 lap time set by Hayden Young. You see it on the left-hand side there. They are going to do a heck of a lot of laps. The issue is whether or not they can concentrate why they're just spinning and spinning and spinning this circuit. Now, we have got updated Pro-Ams. This has come from Sean today. Okay, so if anybody is in where they shouldn't be, blame Sean, because it's all his handiwork. Okay, I'm staying completely out of it. I've got nothing to do with this at all. Now, we do have Michael Gray back in as well. He's been in YouTube chat, popping in and saying hi at the same time. Now, Michael, we've got him in the elites, but he kind of will end up running on his own. So I've stuck him in pros just to check and see how he goes. He's normally in a world of his own, is Michael Gray. So even though he might go out and go from last to first, which is generally what he's going to do, don't take it into consideration that he's winning the pros. It's just that, it messes up my pretty colours, and I didn't want to mess up my pretty colours, to be honest with you. So I've stuck him in pros, probably against Sean Clark's wishes, but there we go. It is what it is on that one, and he's going to have some fun, I'm sure, driving through the field like he normally does. But there, going to be very interesting, this, mate. I'm looking forward to this. Overtaking opportunities up to the hairpin. If you can get a run through Mosses down into Atwood, you might be able to have a good old go. So we're going to see how it goes here as well. Just here for tonight and round 6, hopefully. Okay, mate, no worries.
Okay, so we'll see him at Barcelona for 60 minutes there. But talking of musical references, you mentioned Kylie Minogue. I'm going to mention the late Pete Burns from Dead or Alive. You spin me right round, baby, right round. So we've got 2 musical references before even qualifying has gotten ended, folks. At the moment, Hayden Young, the number 46, McLaren again is at the top of the timesheets, ahead of Wayne Douglas, Andy White, rounding out the top 3. We're with Upshift Esports, James Moore in the number 17 Corvette. He's had a bit of a troubling start to his title defence here, but this is the shortest circuit on the calendar. 2.031 miles, 3.703 kilometres, 13 turns, runs clockwise, 5 to the left, 8 to the right, and it's been open since November of 1990. The TI Circuit AIDA, the TI actually stood for Tanaka International, which was the conglomerate that ran the circuit, and is also the home, anyone might remember, back in the day, in the 1995 and 1996 season of Formula One, known as the venue of the Pacific Formula One Grand Prix on those 2 respective calendar years, but is a home for the likes of the top-tier sports car championship, Super GT, which took place earlier on this year. But Hayden Young, once again, for the second round in succession, has put it on pole position. Scotty Kostrick this time was quickest in the AM, so a McLaren takes pole in both respective classes. How's about that?
Well, that's going to be very, very interesting to see how that goes as well. Hayden Young, of course, on his new steering wheel, decided that it was, he was driving a Porsche, didn't like the Porsche because he can't get the grips with it, thought it was a steering wheel, went and bought a new one, when really he could have just bought the new car. But hey, listen, we won't go into that. Baz Racing, evening guys, bets on carnage incoming.
Baz is always the one that brings that kind of world, that foreboding doom that we tend to have here in GT3s. But this first lap is going to be incredibly crucial for everyone to get round. And of course, the elevation changes, going through first corner, then into Williams, then into Moss, then into Atwood. Then you've got the longest back straight I think I know of, and then into Hairpin Corner. Then you go down through into Revolver before through into Redmond and Hobbs. So, and for anyone wondering about the penultimate corner being called Mike Knight Corner, no, it's not in reference to David Hasselhoff and his wonderful mullet from the 1980s.
Hey, yeah, dude. Us old people might remember that as well. I reckon clean professional driving, lap 1. That's because you're sat at home, Craig, and you're not in the race. On that one. Hopefully I'm wrong.
Oh, dear. I've only this.
I'm sorry, Craig. I'm sorry. I love you really, dude. You know what I mean? So, yeah, there we go on that one. But, yeah, I think this is going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting. I do believe there's going to be some people off, and we have been watching it as well, coming through the likes of Williams. People have been running wide. There's gravel on the side of the circuit on the infield, which is Revolver, Piper, Redman, Hobbs as well, and Mike Knight. So they're going to have to be careful because obviously when you're on the marbles, you go for an overtake, you hit too much acceleration. What happens to the car? Well, it decides it doesn't like marbles and decides to spin. So we're going to find out how these guys get on. But all in all, I think this is going to be a banger. Connor Pink on his normal stewarding duties as well. I really hope so because he's got to keep up with his Todd. What's the track temperature, says Jared?
34.4 degrees is the track temperature, Jared. And he's saying that, fairly poor lap times across the board. Craig's saying, I'm going to take my viewing eyes elsewhere. I don't come here to be offended.
Well,
Craig, it's all about the bants, mate. Come on.
He either sits and watches this, or he listens to our wives talking about hair. So, that's his option. You know what I mean? He either goes into his own little office and sits there and puts us on the computer, or he listens to the wives' chinwag. You know what I mean? But then again, he can't really say anything because I know there's been occasions where he's actually joined in with the conversation. So I think he's blagging it a little bit.
Yeah, we're coming to the end of the remaining 2 minutes of the 5-minute warm-up session before we go lights out and green. And let's just have a look. Bit of a crosswind as well. 15 to 17 miles an hour here at Okayama, so that's going to cause a little bit of problem with straight line speed down certain parts of the circuit, and also with the crosswind, it can upset the balance on the rear end of these GT3 cars, JP, especially if they are either in a mid-engine car like the Audi or a rear-engine car like the Porsche.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. They're just going to have to be a little bit careful on that one and see how he does. So, yeah, I think for these guys, they're going to they're managing this, right? I always find that wind doesn't really make a massive difference in this simulator. I don't think I've heard too many people moan that the wind was too strong and it blew the car offline or, made their wheels turn funny because the wind blew the front wheel. I don't know. I'm just waffling on right about now. So, yeah, I've never really heard it make that much of a difference. And I've been on here now 5 years, and I've not heard that many people moan that wind is.
Yeah, but folks, don't forget what the calendar's looking like as well. We've got Road Atlanta next week. That's the first of 3 90-minute encounters that we've got. Then we go back to the 60-minute format with the Red Bull Ring on the 22nd of September. And the last Monday of the month, we go to Le Mans for 90 minutes, the full Circuit de la Tarte. So that is going to be 8.5 miles, longest circuit on the calendar. 6th of October, 60 minutes of Barcelona. Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the 13th for the penultimate round, and then Hockenheim GP, and that is the current 4.574 kilometers layout, and that is the season finale on the 20th of October, as the check-in is out for the warm-up session here at the Okayama International Circuit, and a big thank you to everyone that is joining us and engaging with us quite significantly here on YouTube chat. But with that in mind, we now will take you through the grid.
Yes, we will. Sorry, I was too busy catching up with Craig Jones, who's just messaged me a picture of him asleep on the sofa.
Brilliant. So, front row, Hayden Young versus Wayne Douglas. Andy White and Peter Duke, row 2. Harry Hartley-Price and Craig Corrish, row 3. And Tim Reed and Mr. Fresh Rubber himself, Sam Berry, round out an all-pro fourth row. So the top 8 all comprise the pro. It's an all-AM, row 5. Scotty Kostrick taking pole position in the AM, and he'll be joined alongside by the 123 McLaren. Turbocharged Sports Harry 7. Jeremy Jukic in the Acura, joined by Martin Kenyon in the Lamborghini on row 6. George Parfitt and a new driver to the field, the 84 Audi of Raymond van Zutphen from the Netherlands. Then we've got Tim Cullimore and Quinton Klumpert in the Mustang, rounding out row 8. Simon Nelthorpe and James Moore rounding out row 9, with Sean Clark and Mark Wesley rounding out your top 20. 28 cars set to be on the grid. And looks like a few haven't made it out in time for the rolling start. So Simon Nelthorpe being one of them, Paul West, Sam Berry, Adam Hansen. So we're going to have the likes of Sindri Johansson, Gareth Newton, Joel Loudon, Mark Ozier, Chris Haynes and Michael Gray, who likes to do a top gear from the rear. It's going to be a short pace lap. They're coming down through Revolver and into Piper, the Ford Mustang safety car controlling proceedings. But as we saw last time out, it was Hayden Young that got the jump and led from lights out to checkered in the Eifel region at the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit. So 60 minutes will be on the timer very shortly, as we will get things underway. So Nelthorpe and West will start from pit lane through into the final few corners, now into Hobbs, and there's a bit of an elevation change. Then it's down the dip into Mike Knight corner. I was commentating on Super GT earlier on this year, and former Williams Academy driver Zach O'Sullivan and the car guy MKS Ferrari did get it a bit wrong, and you might have a bit of a moment coming out of that corner going onto the gravel. But it's going to be an interesting one here for round 2 of TRG GT3, and it's now pedal to the metal. Red lights are on. We are at full speed heading down into first corner, and the lights are out. We're underway for 60 minutes. Good start by Hayden Young, but Wayne Douglas hot on his heels. Meantime, Andy White holding off the advances of Peter Duke and Clark St. James Motorsport teammate Harry Hartley-Price, as they now will go through into Williams, into the Moss S, and then head up towards Atwood Curve for the first time. But very, very neat and tidy from the field at the moment, apart from Michael Gray, who's dropped behind Joel Loudon. But nevertheless, Hayden Young gets the whole shot that he needed, as they are now on their way down to break the timing sector for sector number 2. And Hayden Young has a clear 3 and a bit tenth of a second advantage down the roller coaster ride, through Hairpin, through Revolver, now down the dip into the left-hander here at Piper. Got to carry the speed through and use as much of the exit curbing as you dare before kicking up the grass or the dust. But Hayden Young doing a rather sterling job. There's changes at the back end of the field. Chris Haynes, who started 26, was up to P20, now drops to 22nd. Michael Gray now already up in the Audi, up 12 spots in the 127. He's now up into 15th place. Sindri Johansson up 7 spots, and he's up into P14, up from 21st on the grid. Incident between car 2, Sindri Johansson, and car 8, Quinton Klumpert. Oh, that's the 2 Mustangs coming together, so under investigation currently. But meantime, we're going to have a look at that replay. JP, take us through it.
Quinton's here as well. You can see it's a big old dive from the Mustang on the inside. I think Klumpert That's a really hard one, that is, because the door was open and he was alongside. But you can see at the moment Hayden Young's escaping at the front. You can see the AMs have gained places as well. 7, Jukic, Parfitt, Van Cullimore, Sindri Johansson, Clark Moore. They've all gained places from the back of the field due to some incidents as well. Simon Nelthorpe left the pit lane earlier on. Scotty Kostrick jumped to the pit lane, is now back out of the pit lane. I'm not quite sure if there's a few issues here with people disconnecting, because during the green situation, Paul West was in and out of the pit lane as well. There was a couple of people doing the same sort of things, but Hayden Young at the moment escaped as much as possible here, and he's got 7 temps in front currently at the moment in time. Jeremy Jukic is here. He's got Martin Kenyon in front of him. He's chasing down Harry 7. Don't forget, of course, Pro and Ams at the same time. It was an uneventful first lap. Craig wanting fireballs. Well, no, there was fireballs at Santa Pod last weekend, I'll let you know as well. One of the Top Fuel funny cars went off the line and blew the engine up, and it all filled up with flame. So, yeah, the driver was lucky he got away.
A bit of a drag-style Hadouken, if you want to call it that way. We are in the land that actually created the famed fighting game Street Fighter. So that was a bit of a reference to the Hadouken that we see from Ryu and Ken, if you ever play that kind of game, folks. But Harry 7 leading in the AM class. Bit of a shame for Scotty Kostrick. He has engaged a fast repair, so but he is being chased down quite heavily by the impressive 03 Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo. That is of Martin Kenyon, who's moved up 3 spots from 12th on the grid. A little bit of a look there by Peter Duke on Harry Hartley Price as they head down the back straight into hairpin corner. And Kenyon goes for the move. Up the inside, neatly does it. Now, does this mean that 7's going to get the crossover? Not quite. Jukic is there waiting in the wings.
Yeah, he had to be careful there, because his idea was to let Martin Kenyon through. It's a pro and am fight. Kenyon's not his fight. But what he didn't want to do is bring in Jukic at the same time. So he had to be careful of what he was doing and the way he was going to do that. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how this battle goes, because we've got 1, 2, and 3 of the AMs in there. 7, Jukic, and Mini P in there at the same time, all nearly close together. So that AM fight could go mental a little bit later on. We'll keep on that. With this one going on in the pros, though, we've got Hayden Young currently at the moment with Wayne Douglas and Andy White on his own there, with Harry Hartley Price in behind, with a DC Motorsport car of Peter Duke tucked in behind that. So unfortunately, Duke at the moment, Craig Corish, Clark St James, Tim Reed, Clark St James, Hartley Price, Clark St James, Andy White, Clark St James, and at the moment in time, poor old Peter Duke is sandwiched between them all.
Yeah, warning for car number 2. So Sindri Johansson, I think that was the right call there. Just gets a little warning. It was more of a racing incident. It was 1 of one and 500 of the other. So, you know, if there was an intent, because Johansson was just looking for the move to get through on Quinton Clumpert, and yeah, it was just an unfortunate shame. It's lap 1. It's, you know, they're still trying to get the cars, tyres and brakes up to temperature. And that's not kind of the incident you want going through into Atwood Curve. But Douglas is really keeping Hayden Young. Oh, Tim Cullimore's had a big off in the number 42 car, the Castrol livery Mercedes, and he's now in pit lane. So, yeah, I wonder what happened to Tim there, as we're nearly 6 minutes in out of 60 minutes of the first 10th of this race has been completed so far.
Yeah, we'll have a look back at that one very, very shortly there of Tim Cullimore and see what he got himself up to. But whatever it was, lost a couple of places in the process coming in to the hairpin. Oh, that back end's on its way. Watch that. He's going to put the throttle down onto the grass. And unfortunately, Cullimore, big old snap, and around and off he goes. So that's what happened to Tim Cullimore there as well. Hayden Young under a bit of pressure from Wayne Douglas as he started closing back in. But the AMs, oh blimey, the AMs are very, very close at the moment. Barely 2 seconds between the 3 of them.
Yeah, that's 7, Jukic and George Parfitt, of course. And he is related to my partner in crime.
He is.
It's good to see George actually doing some really, really good work here. There's a look for the move up the inside for the race lead. by Wayne Douglas. He's been waiting. He's been a bit like Shere Khan in the Jungle Book, waiting in the reeds to try and get his opportunity. And Hayden Young knows that Wayne Douglas is not someone to be trifled with at the best of times as they go through into Redmond Corner and then up into Hobbs. So Redmond Corner, named after Brian Redmond. David Hobbs, who was known very, very well as a racer, but also very much part of the Benetton Formula One team back in the day before he went into a broadcasting role in the United States of America. But this is getting really, really close. And look, you're now seeing that they're starting to move from side to side a little bit down this very short start-finish straight. But Douglas now starting to stretch the legs. I did see that Tim Reed in the 155 Mercedes did have a slowdown penalty earlier on, and yeah, Hayden Young having a bit of a flirt with the dust there, didn't he?
Yeah, he definitely did. I'm just trying to find out what happened to Tim Cullimore. I don't know if there was any issues in conjunction with the likes of monitor situations that we have had as well going on over the last couple of broadcasts. So I don't know if that, I'm just trying to find out if what the situation was. Now the AMs have spread apart a little bit, but that's because our resident rear to the Top Gun to the rear has basically got himself involved in their own little battle. So Michael Gray there has overtaken out George and is now trying to have a go at Jeremy Jukic. I do love Jukic's spirit and his fight and his, get your elbows out, which is what we love and what we always wanted. But it is Michael Gray, so it might just be easier saying, off you go, son, and I'll just follow him behind you so it doesn't cause any dramas. But there we go, lots still happening. Michael Gray closes it through the field at the moment, up 16 places in the first 9 minutes over the first 6 laps.
Well, not at all surprising for the man from Full Tilt Motorsport, but I do have to say, shout out to Jeremy Jukic with his wonderful Co3 Racing livery on that Acura NSX, as both he and Harry Seven go for a little side excursion coming out of the final corner. And here goes Michael Gray up the inside at first corner, side by side, wheel to wheel with the Acura. There's a left-hander coming up.
Oh, good, Jukic, son. Look at him having a good old go. This is the problem, though.
But look who's got behind him. He's got George Parfitt in the McLaren, breathing down his exhaust pipes and through into Atwood Curve. George goes for a dive bomb, nearly gets the opportunity to go through. Is he going to make the run? It's going to be a big old blast. The McLaren should have the horsepower advantage, but George Parfitt behind Jeremy Jukic ducks in behind, and now he's going to possibly look for a move into hairpin corner and has to back out of it at the last moment. Good driving there by the McLaren, but again, like he knew he had an opportunity because Jukic opened the door very, very wide going through that particular point at Atwood Curve.
Yeah, you can tell. Now, I don't want to blow his horn here because he is my son, but before, about 2 years ago, or even as little as a year ago, he would have gone for that move down into the hairpin. He would have sent it down there. The door would have shut. They would have had an incident. He would have been in my office, in my year roll, screaming about the other driver. Now, the thing is as well, it's just the way that he's matured. Now, he's done that by joining in with a good friend of mine, Mr. Steve Webb, and his team that he's got. And he literally has taken George under his wing, and they do endurance races, and they do all sorts of other things. And he's matured a heck of a lot in his racecraft. I don't want to blow his trumpet too much because I'm never going to hear the end of it. But he has definitely, I've got to give credit where credit's due. But also, where we're at this, Hayden Young is coming under fresh pressure from the likes of Douglas, from the likes of White, from Hartley Price as well. So these front four are coming at him, and they're not only coming at him quick, but they're bringing Peter Duke, the likes of Corish, Tim Reed's also there. Michael Gray's got 5.5 seconds, but I'm pretty sure that would disappear very, very quickly as he's doing a 1:29.73, but that was in traffic. While the others are doing, Hayden Young's doing a 1:29.28, and that was out of traffic. Hayden Young, putting it into perspective, Hayden Young's best is a 29.1. Michael Gray's best is a 28.5.
And that's why we wanted the pretty pink colour, so we can put him in the elite class. Because for anyone wanting to know, Michael Gray's I rating is 4738. And for those
Ooh.
wanting a little bit of a refresher, the pros rating is 1700 and above. AMS is below 1700. Oh, Mr. Fresh Rubber, the BMW of Sam Berry. What's going to happen here? He's closing in on Sindri Johansson, and just like, and Sean Clark gets caught up in the crossfire. We've got two spinning tops, one Pete Burns, one Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, I did see that coming. I wondered what had happened to the pair of them, and now I know that was the situation. The gap's starting to open up. They're about half a second to 3 tenths apart at the front, let's be real. Now Bob's got to slow down. That's the yellow flag. Incident involving 129, a car number 2 are being investigated at this moment, and that is Sam Berry. And I believe, who is number 2? Sindri
Johansson.
So I don't know what they've got themselves up to, but they've obviously had some form of touch.
Yeah, might have done, but we'll find out. It's great that we've. I do like the fact we've also got Connor, who has raced in the Tanso Racing and Clark St James GT3 Championship before, but with the new arrival, it's nice that he's involved in some way, shape, or form. So we do have live stewarding, so he's keeping up as best as he can. He does a very, very good job, does our Connor, doesn't he?
Especially on his Todd. That's
yes.
The situation, especially on his own. There's been some swapping around in the front 3 of the AMs. Now George has moved himself up 1 place, so he's got past Jeremy Jukic in the end and got the job done finally. We'll have a look back at that in a very short minute while we just let this battle materialise down into turn 1. Is there going to be any changes? There isn't at this moment in time. Oh, hold on.
He'd actually done the move halfway through the lap. I did catch it.
Yeah, I think he's done it before then, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think we're having some fresh internet issues.
Yeah, so it's going to be... now that is coming out of Hobbs' corner, and then that gives George the big barn doors being open like the Dukes of Hazzard, and he just yee-hawed his way through.
Yeah, he definitely did there as well. Right, I'm just going to check on my internet incident. Sindri Johansson has just cleared Raymond von Zolfen. Is that how you spell it? Say it, Alex?
Zolfen, yeah. Right, Sam Berry has been given a warning for the incident with Sindri Johansson. So okay. Levi, who's Raymond's son, is actually watching along as well. Slightly different livery now. For Sindri Johansson, of course, earlier on this last week, actually on the weekend of the Monza Grand Prix, Daniel Ricciardo, now a global Ford racing ambassador, has called time on his full-time racing career. So, yeah, Sindri did have a bit of a JPS thing going on with the black and gold, but now has gone with bright highlighter green stroke yellow. But again, we're seeing, I think this race now, because of what we're seeing with this peloton between Hayden, Wayne, Andy, Harry. That was a big old off there. Drew Williams, courtesy of Andy White. And now Harry Hartley-Price has got a sniff of an opportunity to send it up the inside of his teammate. But we have seen this before. The Clark St. James Motorsport boys doing the to me, to you, to me, to you.
Yeah, they end up doing, well, honestly, if I put it in perspective, they do nothing. As they generally just follow each other, and then they get towards the end of the race, and then Hartley-Price has a good old ding-dong and sees what's going to happen after that. Craig Corish is mixing it up with Peter Duke. This poor old DC Motorsport, they need to get Hayden Young on board or something to have more up front here, because at the moment, Wayne Douglas is the sole fighter in this top part of the racetrack. You know, Peter Duke is in 5th. He's got his own battles.
He's looking for
he's going to hit him. He's going to... I thought he was going to hit him.
That was so close going through Hobbs' corner. So we are about to complete lap number 11. We've already gone past the 15-minute mark. And Wayne Douglas is within striking distance of Hayden Young. Now we start lap 12.
Oh, look behind. Sorry. Oh, there is there is. I'm sure there was a second car there. That's Michael Gray. Just to let you know as well, up 19 places in the first 17 minutes. So there we go. If there was only another DC drive, yeah, there was, Jared. Could have been.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it would have been helpful for him to have some more help at the front there for Wayne Douglas and Peter Duke. But Michael Gray is probably going to make short work of Tim Reed, which is he does, and then just moves his way forward. Something's happening up here.
Oh, Eddie Young's around! Oh, he's gone straight into the path of Andy White.
Oh, I knew it was coming.
Okay, so Wayne Douglas, he's going to throw it to the inside here, pulls out into hairpin. They clash there. Oh, and it's straight into the right side door, and Andy White has got to go hard on the anchors. Oh, now
the question, that is such a hard one to look at.
It is.
We'll give it another go, but I'm just trying to see whether or not the door was open. Probably going to be the best angle, I think. Let it play out. Oh, he missed the corner. Wayne Douglas missed the apex. The door was open and Hayden Young gave it to him, but he missed the apex. He didn't hit the apex behind it for Wayne Douglas. Yeah. He goes in deep. The apex is 3 foot to the right. Oh.
And as you rightly said, Hayden Young had kept that open. He actually kept the steering a bit more open than he probably wanted to in order to allow Wayne Douglas that chance to have that facilitation, making the move stick. And as you said, Wayne just, I think, made a little bit of a hash of that one, to be honest with you. Meantime, Sam Berry trying to work his way back through the field. Gets through on the number 17 Corvette of Am, driving from Upshift Esports, James Moore. So Sam Berry currently 10th in the pro side of things. James currently, that'll be 9th in the pro class. And considering the fact that James was pretty handy behind the wheel of the BMW M4 GT3 Evo last season, made a move to the Corvette for season 8, but hopefully maybe over the longer endurance races, the Corvette in the hands of this man from the UK might come to him as the season progresses. Now there's a couple other bits that we do need to provide in terms of housekeeping. Every driver has a 60% fuel limit capacity in the tank, open setup, 1 fast repair, and there's a drive-through penalty every 20x incident points the drivers accumulate, and there's no disqualification.
Yeah, there is. Apologies if the picture's a little bit sketchy going on here at the moment. I'm not entirely sure why all of a sudden I've got this scenario going on, but hopefully it's good for you guys at home. It looks fairly smooth on the stream. It might just be on my screen where it's stuttering around a bit. But Harry 7 not wanting Peter Kenyon tucked up just about there, partly due to the fact that Mr. Parfitt is not overly far away. So for Harry 7, make a choice, son. Either let him go or continue to fight him. Me, personally, right about now, I'd lift just a little bit and allow him to take the inside line, which is what I think Harry 7 does.
Yeah, and that's actually a good call there by the 123 from Turbocharged Sports, and that wonderful cyan blue and white liveried McLaren 720S GT3 Evo. So he's going to, I think probably this might help him a little bit, just stay in the wheel tracks of Martin Kenyon and just, Craig Corish has just picked up a slowdown penalty. Shouldn't be too bad for him because that's only going to drop him a little bit towards Clark St. James Motorsport teammate Andy White. Craig has always been known for sticking with the Porsches, unlike the rest of his stable that have gone with the Mercs. So I think Craig's always been in a Porsche from, I think, when did I join the team?
Every season, I think. Dude, I don't think there's a season I've been here where he hasn't been in a Porsche. Nick Smits, are there track limits, Alex? Repeat what you said, dear sir.
20x incident points means you get what we like to call the trundle of shame down the pit lane, aka a drive-through penalty.
Did I just read that right? A racing incident between 46 and 166. Went for a move. Please tell me that's not the end of that sentence. Oh, I don't know about that, Mr. Pink. Oh, I've got to be giving you a little bit of grief there. Wayne Douglas missed the apex by about 3 feet on the right-hand side. Oh, I don't know if I agree with that. I'm not one for arguing with Mr. Connor Pink because he's big and he's scary and he's ginger and he scares me. But I think you might have got that a little bit wrong there, sir.
Well,
I don't know what the ginger bit's got anything to do with it, to be blatantly honest with you, but I just thought I'd put it in there for scare factor. You know, it's like a Scottish William Wallace, just all with fuzzy hair.
Freedom at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, freedom!
And hopefully your mic didn't flip when you chatted that.
Oh, probably.
But one of the good things is that there is a drop round. So, at the end of the day, it's the best 7 scores out of 8.
Yeah, I think that there might be some taking them this round. I've got to be honest there. Oh, poor old Scotty Kostrick. What have you been up to? Scotty goes, oh, dude, don't do it.
It's going to be loud pedal time, and whoops, there she goes.
Did it not come through fully? No, we only saw the bit that you put on there. That it said car number 166 went for a move. You are limited to characters, Connor. I can't give you all of the page, dear sir. Oh.
James Moore's just dropped it as well. Paul West has just messaged in the Discord saying, sorry guys, didn't take the race start, had network issues and didn't want to ruin anyone's race. And Hayden's had a bit of a tank slapper there, going through into Revolver, so it's not been a good one. Now this is going to be the replay with James Moore. Oh, James.
There was a drag in the middle of that corner. He tried to drag that car around on the brakes. Now, if you have a look, there's a brief little moment where that car slows right up, just about there, and then he tries to get back on the throttle, and it goes back out again. He held that brakes. He tried to drag that brake, and literally, unfortunately, sent him round. Should have been a penalty at the end of that. I'm confused now, but that's because you wrote so many characters. Just put car number 166 and car number whatever it was. I don't know. What's 46. Penalty for 166, causing a collision. That might have done it. So there we go. But Mark Ossier's carrying a slowdown at the moment as well. But he's there going into turn 1. He's just got that slowdown off. So good job. But him. But no. Oh, I see what you're saying. Too many characters. Yes. But sorry. Don't apologise, mate. You're learning this as there was anyone. So don't worry too much. So we've all settled down. We've got this middle F1 period, Alex, where we basically waffle on for a little bit because these guys aren't really close together. Pit stop cycles probably in the next 10-15 minutes as well. By all accounts, though, the weirdest thing is we think is going to be quite a lot of laps because in the first 25 minutes they've done 17. So effectively in the next 25 minutes they're going to do 30. Then after that, so I think it's going to be about 39 laps. Maybe, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be trying to do maths while I commentate, and as we know, that doesn't work out.
Chris Haynes has said that he's just had a screen freeze and went into a barrier, so that's why his McLaren is now out.
See, I'm wondering if that's an issue that's happened recently as well, because somebody else there we go. Somebody else I was talking to in a broadcast did exactly the same thing. Just went left on the circuit. No, last night actually in IGP. Went left on the circuit and literally just screen froze and just went in. Now, obviously, I've had to, my screen's been having a little bit of a mental breakdown here tonight at the same time. So I don't know if there's some underlying issues going on within iRacing or the optimization of iRacing, or they've updated something at Okayama or other circuits that's causing a problem. So yeah, I don't think this is 100% my fault. I have checked my internet. I'm running at 900 up and 902 down, so it definitely isn't the www dots that's causing me the problem. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on it, but we'll see how we get on. Wayne Douglas under attack from Harry Hartley-Price at the front.
Well, we are on week 13 as well, so there are going to be some further updates coming. So whether those little tinkerings behind the scenes.
Sorry,
I know.
have you read it?
I've seen it as well. I've just seen it as well.
Melanie Young, put your
Ow.
claws out, young lady. I'm not scared of Connor Pink. It's the man relents him and Stevie Wonder.
Oh dear.
Connor, you're upsetting the crowd. Carl's in the YouTube chat. Carl, welcome in. CPU spiking, maybe that could cause, yeah, probably as well.
Yeah.
It is coming on my upgrade list this year. Unfortunately, my upgrade list does cost me a pretty penny to upgrade the PC.
On the leg.
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much, mate. I'm not going to lie. It did last, saying now, I haven't upgraded it in 2 years, so that could be why on that one. Still on an i9 12th gen, no. Only on 14, I'm not that far behind.
No.
No. But I can guarantee, though, it'll cost me a pretty penny to go up to a 14. I'm not.
Mm.
But there we go.
That's always the thing. It's like with regards to the computers that I have. Right. Okay. Rate. Instant between car 166, Wayne Douglas, and car 68, which is Sean Clark being investigated.
Why?
Oh, right. So,
what did he do and when?
Now, because the thing is,
bat marker. Oh, that was a bat marker.
Oh, and that's Sean going off at the last corner.
Yeah. So
now, well, there you see that Harry Hartley-Price now is in the lead.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's just cleared Wayne Douglas, but I think Douglas just made a mistake going into one, and he runs wide, and Hartley-Price nips underneath him. Yeah, he does. Look, he goes wide, and Hartley-Price does nip underneath going into turn one there as well. Jared Love, he knows the feeling of upgrading. Apparently, got a new thing, a 9800 XD for something or rather. Apparently, the wife nearly left him when she saw the price. That is unfortunately one of the problems with the updates that are coming out. They are now very CPU heavy, and the optimization has not quite been there at the moment. And I know a lot of people have been moaning, especially anybody that does any form of broadcasting or streaming, been realizing that the optimization at certain tracks is just not there, and it causes massive CPU spikes, as we've seen with the guys this evening. Chris Haynes screen freezing last night. There was a couple of screen freezes as well. So yeah, I don't think it's all everybody's PCs. I think the optimization is just not there at the moment with certain aspects that iRacing are bringing out.
Yeah, and then also with other titles such as AC Evo, you know, they're constantly updating. And you look at the graphics package that they have brought. That's also another reason why people are having to upgrade it. And you know, folks, yeah, sim racing is an easy place to get into, but then when you have to start upgrading, then the costs can be quite significant. In the meantime, I did see that Raymond von Zutphen did go into pit lane and was on his marks for 23 seconds.
Oh, that was a back marker. Sorry, I got excited there. 5-second penalty for Wayne Douglas for rear-ending Sean Clark, apparently.
Oh.
So there we go. It'd be interesting to see what was the outcome of Hayden Young. Please, Mr. Pink, if you are listening.
I have sent him a message and asking to send me the full text of what he meant to write down.
Yeah, because I don't want to upset Melanie Young. Maybe she's more scarier than Connor. As Raymond Van Zump.
Look, I mean, the way that, as we're now seeing Raymond Van Zutphen in the 84 running with a very...
Oh, bro, that Audi, not loving that.
Raymond.
Can't brake drag it around that corner, son. It's not going to love it at all. That rear end's going to say, thank you very much, I'm coming to the front. It did there as well. There's a couple of people who saw it earlier on with James Moore trying to brake drag the car, and it did not like the stop in the middle whatsoever. It got all unsettled. But at the moment, Greg Corrish has got a decision. Let Michael Gray through or hold him up here as well, as Nick Smith's is knee a I can't figure out what that says. Great, no idea. But there we go. Great racing taking place.
Okay, right. The full incident reference reference Wayne Douglas and Hayden Young. The full text was car 166 and car number 46. 46 left the door open, 166 went for the move, caused collision, 5-second penalty. So that's 10 seconds going on to Wayne Douglas.
I think somebody needs to be a little bit more careful. There, Wayne Douglas, otherwise he's going to end up with an extreme amount of penalties there as well. So yeah.
Well, he's gonna have to serve that before the car can be worked on the pit lane, if I remember correctly.
I don't know if that can be at that point in time. I don't know. Don't think, if I'm mistaken correctly, that time penalties can be added on for the pit stop, or they've got to be put on at the end. I'll have to do my research on that one as Craig Corrish just dives into the pits. Hayden Young is having a recovery. He's got Tim Reed in front of him at the moment. Harry Seven behind that, but he has got Mr. Parfitt been closing in here over the last few laps, having a go. Ooh. Now we got disappearing altogether. And you can see he pulled out 3 attempts over lap 20 and a little bit over 21. What is this one as well? He got going to get any more out of him. And 7 was a little bit quicker. So that's dropped off just a little bit here at the same time. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. I've now done the research on what we were discussing about time penalties being added. They're not added in real time, but they're often served by stop and hold, or in our case, it will be added post-race.
There you go. That's the situation at the same time. Peter Duke and Wayne Douglas. Peter Duke and Michael Gray here as well. I'm sure they're going to, from Peter Duke. Oh, there you go. That's what he's going to.
Yeah,
that puts an end to anything.
Michael goes, "Hello, Peter. Remember me?" It's like, I don't want any part of this. Go, go, go.
Yeah, exactly. That's the situation, isn't it? You see that McLaren from full tilt coming up behind you, and you're just like, yeah, off you go, son. I ain't getting involved in that one. So there you go. But interesting at the same time. I can't. One more for Wayne Douglas, and it's a drive-through.
Yeah, so that's like three collisions. Yeah, he's just told me as well.
Yeah.
On that front. So I think, as you rightly said, as Hayden Young is now in the pit, so it's a it's a slightly lengthier pit lane, because when you come down from Mike Knight Corner, that's the actual entry point into the pit lane, and it's quite a sudden turn to the right. But you've got to be very careful of the stone wall on your right hand side, because if you throw it down there and turn in a bit too quickly, well, the front end will need a fast repair.
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
you haven't used yours already.
Yes, just make sure that your fast repair hasn't been ticked if you've been in the pits for any specific reason. Probably make sure it's not picked if you're going in again for your general pit stop, because that's the last thing you want here, to fast repair when you don't need to.
Exactly, as Sam Berry and Craig Corrish battling away. Sam yet to do his mandatory stop, or his enforced stop thereof, because he's already been in the pit lane once for a fast repair, and that was on. That was very, very early in the race itself. It was actually on the opening lap, so no affordability to get some fuel in then, because it was just basically, okay, right, return to garage, RTG, get the car back in, get it back out there. But I'm going to be interested to see what the mileage is going to be for, I mean, Craig's already been in lap 22, so he's been out on a new tank of fuel, be it classing it as 60%, but Sam is only less than half a second behind him. I love the logo of the fresh rubber on the side of that car. It's and we that is his nickname, and that's his YouTube handle, and I think the Twitch handle as well. But I think Sam might be able to stretch it out a little bit more than maybe some of the others. So whether that might help him in terms of undercutting those drivers that have yet to come in. So the top 6 yet to come in. That's Hartley Price, Douglas, Gray, Duke, White, Reed. They've yet to come in. The Wookiee Wanderer says Sam was changing his playlist and missed the start. Laugh out loud. Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh, don't tell me that was actually true.
He was switching his playlist on Spotify. I thought, oh no, oh damn it, I'm gonna have to start from pit lane.
Oh, you absolute plonker. I don't know how people can have music on while they're driving. I can't concentrate with that. Like, I don't know about you, but obviously we're both on the upper echelons of, 45, and I just can't concentrate on driving and listening. However, I do in the car, but I can't do it on sim race. Drive me absolute nuts.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, well, we've now got some. Okay, so George Parfitt is in, Jeremy Ukic is in, Harry 7 is going to stretch the fuel tank of that McLaren a little bit longer. Peter Duke now in for his pit stop, and yeah, we could be looking around about the end of lap 26, probably the end of lap 27 for some drivers, maybe to extend that fuel window by an extra couple of laps, but they might be possibly on fumes. I mean, this is the shortest circuit on the calendar, on just over 2 miles. Oh, and Martin Kenyon has just received a slowdown penalty in the Lamborghini. That's not helped him. But nevertheless, when we go to our first of 3 90-minute races this season, George will
It's just been jumped by Jeremy.
Oh, right. Okay, so you know what he's got to do? He's got to give it the Hail Mary, give it the berries, George. Give it the berries on the loud pedal, but not too overtly on the berries, because otherwise you might spin around.
Hold on a minute. Something ain't right here. Jeremy Ukic's pit time, 12.5 seconds. Hayden Young and George's time, 22 and 24 seconds, respectively. Everybody else has been around that 20-second mark. I don't know what Yukish may have done. Martin Kenyon's only 13 seconds. Craig Corish is only 13 seconds. I'm wondering if there's a lack of tyres being taken here from the guys at the front.
Yeah.
Wayne Douglas, 15.6. That could also explain that situation. I think there may well be a lack of tyre changes going on from the likes of Jeremy Yukish. Hayden Young, however, and George Parfitt both taking tyres. Peter Duke, I think. Peter Duke's had a penalty speeding in pit road because his pit lane time was 1 minute 22. 50 seconds on the box, on the markers. I think there's a couple that have taken tyres and there's a couple that haven't taken tyres. So I'll be interested to see how the tyre makeup situation goes here. There's George in the background. There's Jeremy down there with Hayden Young. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on and see what that situation is. And Hayden Young's just gone up the inside. Now, can the tyre change? No, how do I word that? Can the people who changed tyres make them work? As Hartley Price and Michael Gray and Andy White are all in pit lane.
Yeah, I've got a little wait to see when Tim Reed and Harry 7 pit in. Now, when you think about it, you look at the... so Tim Reed has come in. And Michael Gray, he's only done 9.5 seconds in pit lane. So yeah, some of the cars, like say the Acura NSX, okay, got to look at fuel mileage here as well, haven't we? In some respects.
Yeah, there's so many that are different. I think that's the problem. If you have a look on the left hand side, not what I want. Hold on a minute. I'll get the... Look at the times. Look at the variances. Nobody is around the same time. 9.5 for Michael Gray. 15 for Wayne. Hartley Price, 17. Corish, 13. White, 11. Reed, 10. Kenyon, 13. Young, 22.
White's just got off.
Yeah.
Andy White's got off.
There is such a mixture of tyre. Oh, dear me. Don't tell me your teammate did it. Oh, you're on the gravel for a start. That's not going to help. Oh, big snap in that Mercedes.
Oh, that's a hard hit.
Bro, if he can get... No, he can't get it back because he jumped back to pit lane. Oh. So, yeah, so the mixture of stop times quite interesting. but I want to see if there's a massive difference here between the likes of Hayden Young last time round, last lap 29.3. I'll keep an eye on it, see what the pit lane times are doing for all the people that are pit stopped with tyres, and we'll see how it turns out here.
Yeah, looking at times at the moment, Jeremy Jukic 1:30.5. Your lad George 1:30.7. So only about a 2 and a bit tenth of a second differential. But if George gets those tyres quickly into that operating window with 17.5 minutes to go, then I'm sure that he will probably close in on. I mean, you look at the pit stop time for Sam Berry, 10.2 seconds. Hayden Young, 22.3. Harry 7, 10.7. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be. It's depending on how confident drivers are feeling as well. That's the key point here.
Yeah, it's going to be over these next couple of laps because the tyre changes take a while to get them up. But you've just seen that from Hayden Young, 1:29 on the clock and a 1:32 from Michael Gray. So if that is the perspective and difference, which I don't think is going to stay like that, I think there's going to be a massive variances between them. So we'll keep an eye at what's going on in the AMS and see how big a difference this tyre situation is actually making.
Yeah, that's going to be the crucial question that needs to be answered when it comes to this particular race. Of course, next week it'll be a 90-minute race, so there will be at least one tyre change because as for those that did catch the action for all 4 of the Season 8 recruitment races that we had, and they were all 90-minute enduros, everyone came in for 2 pit stops on each race. Now we are riding on board with Mark Wesley. Mark Ozier has been having a better time in the McLaren Harrods car, hasn't he? But Wesley's straight up on the inside of him, coming out of Atwood, and looks to have the inside line going into hairpin, as they've got Joel Loudon just in front.
Yeah, I thought that was initially a back marker. Sorry, Joel, if you watch this back. But you are actually there on merit. You're 5th in class there, son, so fair play to you. But Ossier currently with Wesley. Oh, my God, don't do the next one.
That's close.
Good. I'm glad they didn't do that one side by side. They could do this one, but please don't do the one after that going into Hobbs, because that gets very, very tight.
Well, it's very much squeaky bum time for the pair of them going through Revolver and down the hill into Piper. But yeah, Mark doing a really, really good job. So this is effectively the battle for P5 in the AMS. So it's Loudon versus Ozier and Wesley. So Mercedes versus 2 Maccas as they're going to come across the line. Now on to lap number 30. We'll actually make that lap 31.
As
Michael Gray has crossed the line, and sharp intake of breath from Mr. Parfitt there.
Blimey, I thought Ossier was going to go for it. I really thought he got the bit between his teeth here. I don't blame him because that door was wide open, but he just didn't quite. I don't know. Like now, look, the door is open. I get the lunge because he gave him room as well, Loudon, which was really weird because he didn't effectively need to give him that much room on the apex. So I understand the thought process of thinking, well, I could go for it, but the problem is at this moment in time, you can see Wesley's alongside him at the moment as well. So for Ossier, he's got to make a decision what's best, and he should have opened up the steering a little bit there. He gave
Wesley to the inside, that Revolver, and he got through.
Yeah, but that was
Godfathers.
That was Ossier's fault. And no offense, Mark, but you gave him far too much room coming through the hairpin. You didn't open up the steering. You should have opened it up, and he didn't. So there we go.
Oh my goodness, you've had a deep intake of breath. I've had a deep intake of breath. I think I'm going to be assembling some Lego after this just to calm my nerves a little bit.
Oh, lovely. Nothing wrong with a little bit of Lego there, dear. So I'm talking to the man that's got half the Star Wars collection in his office.
Yeah, I've sort of started building up the Formula One collection because I just got back from the Italian Grand Prix today. I was away there for the weekend. And of all the things, one of my birthday presents was the Lego Icons Williams Racing FW14B with our Nige.
Oh,
That's
nice.
going to be a few hours.
Have you got a red 5?
Yes, I have.
Woo! You got the real one.
I got the red 5.
Yeah, baby, red 5. Guys going as well.
We just, hey, look, this is what always happens when we're both on a broadcast. We always have fun doing this, and now Wesley up the inside. That was a hairpin. Oh, Joel, you left that door way too wide open, my friend.
And that's the thing. He's almost, but Joe Loudon, he's almost scaring himself out of 5th position because he scared himself that much. He didn't even attempt to squeeze, shut, slam, put it on the latch. I don't know. He didn't do anything with the door apart from just went, come in, son. My sofa and TV are in the living room. You can take that. And the wife's upstairs in the bedroom. You could probably have her as well. And that's the thing. He needs to be. Well, you never know. But he needs to.
He was steady on that last comment.
Some people love their wives and are not happy. Other people just, well, like Craig Jones, moaning about them. So, you know, at the end of the day. But this is the thing. You can't do that. If Loudon wants to be, look, you've got to, no, give it to him back, Joel. There, son. Oh, you just want to grab out. Now your opportunity. So go for it.
Go on, go for it, Joel. Get your elbows out. Oh, Sindre Johansson, he's just lost all that.
Shut the door. Oh.
Right, okay. In the meantime, with Mark Ozier going up the inside of Joel Loudon, they just went past Sindre Johansson, who has lost 4th. Now, the Mustang in the hands of the Norwegian. Is this going to be a bit too much on the loud? Oh, it's happened. And he's just kept it out of the barriers. Well held by the Norwegian there. And he's got to wait. Michael Gray goes through, rejoins, but that would have given him an automatic slowdown penalty for track limits because of his own making. And, well, Mark Wesley now finds himself in 4th position. And this is the battle for the last spot in the top 5.
There it is.
Well, this has provided drama all over the place. Hayden Young, in the meantime, Jared Love said Tottenham had a better defence last season.
Oi, don't you pick on my mighty Spurs, Jared Love. However, they did go back to being Spurs over the weekend against Bournemouth. So, you know, look, I got excited when they beat Man City and won 2 games in a row, and then all of a sudden Spurs was back against Bournemouth where they lost 1-0. But it doesn't mean that you can pick on them. That's my job as a Spurs supporter. Anyway.
And Jared says he's a Spurs fan too.
Oh, good. Well, there you go. That makes it so much easier. Well done, Jared Love. But yeah, Anyway, before we get on the football, let's get on the motor race because we've got there's some Chinese fireworks bubbling at the moment here. We've got Hartley, Price and Douglas. Young is up behind Kenyon. We've got Peter Duke, who's climbing all over George's rear end at this moment in time. And George is just doing George things and not letting him through whatsoever. He's decided that he's going to actually fight Peter Duke. Why not go for it? Have some fun, son. But unfortunately, he's lost a bunch of time to Jeremy Jukic in this process. Gareth Newton is here at the same time. He's got Sindre Johansson closing in. Newton's got Van Zutphen in front of him. So these guys are bubbling as well. So there's a couple of little Chinese fireworks moment. And I think we might start here with Martin Kenyon and also Hayden Young.
Well, the Japanese Hanabi, aka that is the word in Japanese for fireworks, are about to start. Yeah. And through he goes. Oh, that's close. But Young might just about make it through. Kenyon's got the inside line down into Revolver. And the is that Spirit of Yorkshire on the side of that Lamborghini?
Yeah.
It is. Spirit of Yorkshire Lamborghini. Oh, and Hayden Young, 2 wheels on the grass. Coming out of Piper. Trying to get the inside line for the next corner. Through into Redburn. And Kenyon holds on to 6th by a whisker. Hayden Young came out of Piper with a full head of steam. 2 wheels on the grass. And my goodness. He nearly could have got that done. He kept the throttle fully planted. But Martin Kenyon kept his elbows firmly out as, oh, right, Jeremy Jukic has now got a slow down penalty. I'm looking at the lap times between him and George. Last lap, Jeremy Jukic, 1 minute 34.3. George Parfitt, 1:30.1. And Peter Duke, insult to injury. I think that's probably black flag limit for incident points, though. That might be a drive through as we say, the trundle of shame down the pit lane. In the meantime, Michael Gray is effectively a guest starter, so he'll effectively hand the full 40 points over to the man that finished runner-up to him last season and who also took the season 6 crown, Harry Hartley-Price, currently running in P2. He's a second and a bit ahead of Wayne Douglas. And
taking the checkered flag.
Oh, that's strange.
No, it's final lap.
Hang on, no, we're not even at 60 minutes yet. We're not even at 60 minutes. We've still got 7 minutes to go. That's weird.
No, it's not. Do you know why it's not? Because I think it was set to a 35 lap limit.
And Hayden Young's going to dive up the inside, through at the final corner, run to the line here for 6th position. Oh, they're banging panels. Kenyon's going to pick up 6th, Young 7th, and Harry 7 takes the win in the AM classification. Second is going to be Jeremy Jukic, and George Parfitt on his Tanso Racing Group GT3 debut rounds out your top 3 in the 49 McLaren.
Yeah, oh, he has 35 lap limit. Oh, keep an eye on Tanso GT3 chat.
All I'm going to say is if it's 60 minutes, like...
Somebody's made a boo-boo as Peter G comes over the line here as well.
Someone has made a major faux pas, and that person is going to get torn a new one, I think.
Oh, yes. Sean Clark. Anyway, moving on. Let's bring you out the results of the 35 lap race here at Okayama, Alex.
Right, okay, so with that being said, after 35 laps, Michael Gray takes the overall victory. Head of Harry Hartley-Price, who will effectively take the full 40 points for the pro class. Head of Wayne Douglas and Craig Corish, who ran at the top 4. But let's not forget, Wayne Douglas will still finish ahead of Craig Corish with that additional 10-second penalty for the 2 incidents that he was part of. Tim Reed in 5th, ahead of Martin Kenyon. Hayden Young, Harry 7. Congratulations to the 123 McLaren from Turbocharged Sports for picking up the win in AM, ahead of Sam Berry. Jeremy Jukic for Code 3 Racing rounds out the top 10, second in AM, ahead of George Parfitt, the number 49 McLaren. Simon Elthorpe, Peter Duke, Mark Wesley, Joel Loudon round out your top 15.
Okay.
Mark Ogier, Raymond Van Zupfen and Gareth Newton ran at the top 18. James Moore and Sindri Johansson complete the top 20 with Quinton Cumpert and Sean Clark. Andy White finishing 8 laps down. Chris Haynes out with 20 laps still remaining, so that was lap 15. Scotty Kostrich out on lap 13. Tim Cullimore out on lap 3. And Paul West and Adam Hansen, I don't even made it to the start.
No, they didn't. I've had a message from Sean. He said, sorry, admin error, set too few laps. So I've given him some advice. I said, set it to 99 next time. You can't go wrong. So there we go on that one. But that's the first time he's made a mistake here as well. So fair play to him. He tried, he came, he saw, he conquered. But there's a couple of people who had some excellent races as well. And there's some people who might not, might not be overly happy about it.
Yeah, and Sam Berry in chat saying, at least I had the music I wanted, laugh out loud.
Yes, well, you absolute Rodney. That's all I'm going to say on that one. As we've got Mr. Harry 7 waiting for a combo.
Yeah, let's bring the man in himself. So, let's see. Well, Harry 7, congratulations. Turbocharged Sports' very own 123 McLaren picks up its first victory in the AM class in Season 8. How are you feeling?
he's feeling that well. He cannot speak. He's lost for words. Is Harry 7?
Yes.
Yes. So lost.
Sorry, gents. Can you hear me now?
Oh, there we go.
Yes, we can.
He's back.
Oh, there he is.
He's
There
not
he
that
is.
lost for words then.
It's the jubilation. I'm speechless. Literally was speechless. Yeah, I don't really quite know what happened, but we'll take it.
I thought it must have been your mic probably clipping because you were just yelling. Well, what was it? Victory-filled obscenities, saying that you've done it. Who knows?
I was literally just screaming "save fuel." That was all I was doing. I mean, the boys behind me were definitely quicker than me. But yeah, no, I was all just about saving fuel with that one. So yeah, no, really chuffed with that one.
Ah, good stuff. I mean, obviously, first race of the season at Nürburgring didn't go quite to plan, but Okayama, even with the slight mistake that was made, and he's honestly admitted it, you still came away with a maximum haul of 40 points. We were hoping probably towards the end that maybe Jeremy and George would be catching you up. I mean, plus there was also that decision of trying to decide whether to take tyres or not at the pit stop.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely they were catching me. I think it was Jeremy at the end. I could see each lap he was getting a second closer, so I was trying to desperately save the fuel but try and keep the gap. I think also with letting Hayden through as well, which was also another thing. But I think I only had about 6 or 7 laps, so I just took a punt and kept with the tyres because I think it took me about four laps in qualifying to actually get the warm up. So I thought I was better with the warm tyres than the new cold tyres.
Yeah, but it's nice to have a good way to end the evening to take the victory here at Okayama. Of course, 1 week's time, it's our first 90-minute enduro, and we go to Road Atlanta. How do you think the McLaren's going to handle around there?
I mean, notoriously for me, I struggle around there, and especially with the McLaren. So I probably can't speak for the actual car itself. But I can imagine there's a couple of guys who are quick, and I imagine that over 90 minutes they will probably come to the front, especially in the AM class.
Well done tonight, Harry. Congratulations on the win. That's a maximum 40 points. Before we let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Just everyone watching, to be perfectly honest, and thanks to you guys and Sean. Without you, it wouldn't be what it is. So yeah, thanks to everyone.
Brilliant. Congratulations on the win in the AM class, Harry, and we'll see you next week
Cheers,
for round 3 at Road Atlanta. So, big thank you to Harry 7. Let's bring in the man who likes to do a top gear from the rear, Michael Gray. Good evening and welcome back.
Hello, good to be back.
So, only a couple of appearances. I think you said, what was it, round 6? You'll be back with us at Barcelona in early October. But like we saw you do in the recruitment races, you do like doing a bit of a top gear from the rear, don't you? No qualifying lap, just go out there and you end up finishing, what was it, 5.5 seconds ahead of Harry at the checkered.
Yeah, well, I thought I threw it away there on the last lap, being a bit silly. I was going to see if I could do a fastest lap, but yeah, messed that one up good and proper.
Okay, so in what way did you mess it up? Did you get a bit too Larry on the loud pedal through particular corners like we've seen tonight?
Yeah, turn 2 just a bit too deep on the brakes and just lost the back end. But luckily, the back end just touched the gravel and stopped me, so I could get going again. But yeah, other than that, it was a good night. I was enjoying it. I wish people had battled me a bit more, but I understand they're in it for the full season and I'm not. So I was just taking my time trying to get passes, make sure they were as clean as possible and not anything silly, really.
Yeah, and plus it's also nice to see in something different from a Corvette.
Well, this is my favourite GT3 car of them all, and obviously I think it's getting retired in the update tomorrow. So I just wanted to have one last competitive drive in it.
Yeah. Well, are they updating it, or are they just updating it to the Evo?
No, they're getting rid of it because apparently it's something to do with the Aston coming. I think maybe I've heard wrong. I haven't read it, but I'm sure it won't be available to pick in IMSA or DRS sprints.
Well, that don't leave it with any option of racing.
No, so that's why I wanted to use it tonight.
I wonder if we'll all get a refund for buying it then.
Probably not.
Oh, well.
They
Why
don't
do
do
you know? No, we just needed 12 GT3s. Why bring out anything else?
I know. But
Anyway, before I go on my TCR rant, I'm going now.
okay.
Well, Michael, it's good to have you back, buddy, and we look forward to seeing you back in action at the Circuit of Barcelona, Catalonia on the 6th of October. Before we let you go, mate, anyone you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yourselves doing the commentary, Sean, for setting up a slightly shorter race, and everyone at Full Tilt Racing.
Brilliant, Michael. Good to see you, buddy, and we'll see you in a few weeks' time at Barcelona.
Yeah, no worries. See you later.
So a big thank you to our resident alien, Mr. Michael Gray from Full Tilt Motorsport. Let's bring in the man who effectively has, so to speak, taken the top honours in the pro class, Harry Hartley-Price.
Hello.
Welcome in, good sir. How are you? It's been a while since we've had a chat.
Yes, I'm good, thank you. This was kind of bogey trap for me, but I was really happy with my pace, and it was good. I think people got a bit confused with the fuel at the end. I think I had Peter. Did he pit twice for fuel? I don't know if that's right.
He got a
Yes,
he got a
he did.
speeding. Yeah, he
Did
had
he?
to pit twice. He got
I
a
think he pitted
speeding.
twice in general.
Yeah.
Fair enough. No, it was good. I enjoyed it. Good for Craig to be up there again. We're all on to, I think we're at Road Atlanta next Monday.
Yep.
So that'd be
next
great.
week. So
Yeah.
well, I mean, you saying that this being a bit of a bogey track for you, but it's ended up like you're probably not going to be able to take this one as one of your. You take this as your drop score for the season.
Yeah, I know.
Prize for you.
I think the only cars I've drove around here like MX5s or open wheelers, and me and Andy was doing some practice yesterday and was like, they're just like boats around here, these, but they did seem good in the end, and yeah, I enjoyed that. Good.
So, thoughts about Road Atlanta, the first 90-minute race of the season next week? How are you feeling? How's your confidence going to be on that one?
I do really like that track. I haven't got the best of pace around there, but I will be looking forward to it, and I'll be doing the Aston Martin, which will be really good, hopefully.
Well, there we go. Bit of breaking news from Harry Hartley-Price. Harry,
Did you cop a penalty for the car change, Harry?
No, apparently Sean has put something in. Yeah.
He's basically said that this is an 8-race season. Same car must be used all year unless iRacing introduce a new GT3 car into the season 4 release. Then you can swap to that one. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Well, have fun, Harry.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate the commentary, like always.
No worries, and we'll see you next week for Road Atlanta.
Yeah,
in the new wagon, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Cheers.
Okay, so big thank you there to Harry Hartley-Price, and let's bring in our second place finisher. Well, I was going to say, let's bring in our third place driver in the pro side of things, Craig Corish. Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, seems like Porsche was doing Porsche things in the right way for you this evening, wasn't it?
It was all right. I felt like I struggled, but I managed to do all right in the end.
Yep, finishing P4 in the end, but P3 when it comes to the championship side of things. I think it was just under 11 seconds behind Wayne, but you managed to keep yourself out of trouble, whereas we saw the likes of Tim and Peter hit a little bit of trouble. I mean, especially Peter when he got stuck with a drive-through penalty for had a pit lane speed limit infringement, and then copped an additional 25 seconds in his pit stop. But to still round a circuit that prides itself on handling the Porsche, as you said, seemed to do fairly well. But then, of course, we've got some tracks coming up where, are you going to be sticking with the Porsche, first of all, is my first question on that front?
Well, I have to stick with the car for the rest of the season. But next season, I will probably be changing. I'll try the new Aston and see how that goes. But I feel like everybody's going to try that.
Yeah, we could have an Aston Martin V8 Vantage meritocracy come next week.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Exactly.
glad to see that you're sticking with a car that I think when I joined the series in season 6, that's been the car that you've been using pretty much most of the time, and it's been good to see you competitive at the front end of the field. But Road Atlanta next week, how are you feeling about that one?
Just see how it goes. It's open setup now, so it kind of makes it a little bit better, providing you can get a good setup.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it comes messy if you can't get a setup. So, but yeah, looking forward to next week.
Awesome. Well, congrats on where you finished, my friend. And
Yep,
anyone
thank
you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
No, not today.
No worries. Okay, well, Craig, we'll see you next week for round 3 for 90 minutes at Road Atlanta. Well done tonight.
All right, thank you.
So, time for our final interview before we wrap things up. A quick chat with the man from the USA, Co3 Racing's Jeremy Yukic joins us. Jeremy, good evening. Congratulations, P2 in the AM class. How are you feeling after that one?
Not too bad. It was a tough race. Okayama is a tight track, so it's a bit of a workout for that long.
Yeah, I mean the accuracy seemed to be pretty good. I mean, we saw battles between yourself and George Parfitt in the first half of the race, but you kind of got the jump on him in kind of the pit stops where you decided not to go for a set of tyres but put some fuel in the car. What was your decision to go with that kind of strategy then?
I actually was debating the last couple laps before I came in on whether or not I was going to take tires. I was really trying to feel the car out. It was washing out really bad near the end of that stint. The track was heating up too, and so I was really leaning towards taking a set. But the lap right after that, it kind of cooled back down for me, and it came together. And I decided to just bite the bullet and try and hang on to it. And it worked out. The car was pretty good on the light fuel, but I I threw myself off track a couple times throughout the race, and it's one of those races of what could have been. Because I was reeling Harry in there near the end, and then dipped another little wheel off in the gravel.
But still, a great way to start your season here in Tanso Racing Group GT3. Road Atlanta's coming up next week for a 90-minute enduro. Are we going to see you for that and for the rest of the season?
You'll see me for the rest of the season, but not at Road Atlanta. I'm unfortunately working again, but I'll be here for the race after that.
Well, congratulations on your second place finish in the AMS, Jeremy Yukic. Thank you so much for being a part of this great race here at Okayama, and we look forward to seeing you at round 4.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Well, a big thank you there to Co3 Racing's Jeremy Yukic from the United States. JP, what a race it's been, despite a limit on the laps. It's one of the things I love about Sean is that if he's made a mistake, he'll put his hands up to it. And you know what? We're going to have a full 90-minute race at Road Atlanta next week, so I can forgive him.
Yeah, I think these mistakes happen. It's the first time that we've ever had a mistake out of Sean. I told him basically, just set it to 99, mate. Don't guess. Set the laps to 99. You can't go wrong. So there we go. But we're going to be interested in 90-minute race next week.
Yeah, so join us, same place, same time next week, as we're going to go to the first of our 3 90-minute adventures, and we go to Road Atlanta. This has been a JP Broadcasting Network production. You've been joined by myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and James Parfitt. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. There's plenty of racing action to come up over this coming week here on week 13 on the iRacing server. But that's it for now. Race hard, race fair, and in doubt, better go flat out. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Jungle.